Listen, if you all are not coming to China in 2025, you're going to be done in the next 10 to 15 years.
The United States and China are in the big technology competitions. Who wins the technology war? Because the winner of the technology war is going to win all wars. The United States is very much a big picture. It definitely has this debt money economy problem. It definitely has the internal conflict.
The way I think about China, I call it the engineering state because at various points in the last few decades, the entirety of the Standing Committee of the Politburo, the 9 highest ruling members of the Chinese Communist Party, all of them had degrees in engineering of a very Soviet sort. So these are people who are trained to build, where a mega project is kind of the answer to any number of quandaries that they have. So for the Chinese, there is no problem that cannot be solved with yet another bridge, road, highway, hyperscaler. The US is really a country where the government is made by the lawyers, for the lawyers, and of the lawyers. Lawyers have been very deeply entrenched in America since the very founding. So if you take a look at the first 13 American presidents, everyone from Washington to Lincoln, all but 3 of them had practiced law at some point. The Democratic Party today is really full of lawyers, such that between 1980 to 2020, every single vice presidential and presidential nominee by the Democrats had gone to law school before. And the issue with lawyers is that they're really good at saying no. They're really good at blocking things.
I'm gonna tell y'all, this is how it goes. It's simple. It sounds unreal, but this is how it goes in China. Once you get hired by a good company, they're gonna buy your ticket to get there. They're gonna help you get all your visa, get everything settled. The next thing they're gonna do, they're gonna ask you, do you have a family? Because if you have a family, that means they're gonna buy you a bigger apartment so your family can be comfortable. They're not gonna put you in no small apartment.
Listen, if you all are not coming to China in 2025, you're going to be done in the next 10 to 15 years. I just saw a video of an individual. He said the same thing. He's only been here 2 weeks, and he's just now discovering what I've known for 17 years. Listen, I live in China. I do business here. I have a lot of stuff going on here in China. I help people source. Yes, you do have companies who are willing to pay for your first round of production. The innovation here, the forward thinking here, the building, and what they are trying to do here is just unmatched.
I'm gonna tell y'all, this is how it goes. It's simple. It sounds unreal, but this is how it goes in China. Once you get hired by a good company, they're gonna buy your ticket to get there. They're gonna help you get all your visa, get everything settled. The next thing they're gonna do, they're gonna ask you, do you have a family? Because if you have a family, that means they're gonna buy you a bigger apartment so your family can be comfortable. They're not gonna put you in no small apartment if you have a family of 2, 3, 4. Next, they're gonna buy the apartment. They're gonna show you videos and photos. Then you can negotiate your own salary. If it's a good company, you can get paid $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, up to $4,000 or $5,000 a month. This is with no apartment, no bills, no expenses. They cover everything. And I'm not Christian or anything, but if you want to go home for the holiday, they can pay for your round trip ticket to go home.
Privileges that we had in America that we don't quite have in China. So first off, in America, we at least had the privilege of getting a credit check every time we wanted something of value, such as a car or even a simple apartment. Versus in China, or even Asia in general, all they want to know is if you can afford the rent. When we went to go look for an apartment, they just simply told us the fees and we paid the money for our apartment and moved in. In America, we had the privilege of worrying about our safety. When we were in America, we at least were allowed to carry, just in case some things went left. Versus in China, people don't even carry guns here. Could you imagine living life not even having to worry about protecting yourself? That's insane. We just realized that Chinese people really don't like black people. Ever since we have been in China, people have been asking, how does it feel to be a black person in China? Is it safe? Do people stare? Or do they like us in general? Well, we have been here for 1 year and 4 months now, and we think it's finally time for us to come clean and tell the truth. Quite frankly, the truth is, they don't like us. They love us. When we first came to China, not gonna lie, we were a little nervous about how Chinese people would approach us. But now, every time we see a Chinese person greeting us with a smile, we know that 9 times out of 10, they just want to take a picture with us. And best believe, a line just might form of many more people who want to do the same. But anyway, China loves black people so much that they want better for us.
Actually, a lot of black people you'll talk to say they prefer the racism in China over back in the States. They perceive it to be differently because here they see it more as ignorance, whereas in the States it's more like hate. Like people actually hate you and like want to kill you or threaten you violently. But in China, it's more like, it's just different. It doesn't seem like they hate you. Especially when I speak Chinese, I can go almost anywhere and talk to people, at least in the places I've been so far. And people will kind of accept me, I guess. I don't know how else to explain that, but they won't be like, oh, get out of my store. They won't follow me around in the store and see if I'm trying to steal something. They won't, like, I don't know, be rude to me. Now, that's not the case for all black people. Again, I'm the Obama black, I guess, that Chinese people are more comfortable with. So when you have kind of darker skinned black people, their experiences are much, much different than mine.
Also, in America, we had the privilege of paying expensive bills. I mean, how could you possibly not want to pay $400 a month for a light bill? Also, in America, we actually got to live the fast life. We were never able to actually live life at our own pace, always worrying about bills and just worrying about money all the time. Here in China, we actually get to live life at our own pace. And we actually get to think about what we want to do in life. And these are privileges that we had in America that we don't quite have in China.
Living in China, were they racist?
Well, racism in China is something different. It's more ignorance, because you can go like to villages that people have never seen a black person before. But they're very excited. It's like, oh my God, I see like somebody like out of the planet. Some of people even like scratch like your body to see like, oh my God, this is like different. But
Wow.
they don't hate you.
No, okay, any racism in China once.
You don't have hate. I have encountered hate in America though. Race in America is very tense. America is a well-segregated country. Oh, you're black, you have to go to your black. Hispanic, you have to go to your Hispanic. And then me that I'm neither. I'm African. Like, where'd I go to? I've been to Arkansas, this woman, oh my goodness. Well, you're very fortunate to be in America. Like, so people think you don't have a life until you arrive in America. Like, you didn't have came from China. I had a life before I came to this country. So you just came to China and said, boom, miracle happened. Like that. Like, there's nowhere else in the world to live.
Okay, so I am living in China, and I've been living here for almost 3 years now. I went to high school for 2 years in Chinese boarding school, and now I'm in college. And I just wanted to give you guys my experience of basically a brief rundown of what it's like being black in China. So first of all, everyone was like, before I even came to China, everyone was like super nervous. They're like, oh my God, Chinese people are so racist. Like, you gotta be careful. Like, they don't like y'all over there. But let me tell y'all, when it comes to racism, here's what I'll point out. There are, of course, like mainly the racism that you'll experience in China will be like online, like trolls. So for example, for me, like on Chinese social media, like Douyin, which is like China TikTok, sometimes I'll be seeing people comment some crazy racist shit. Like it goes around, even sometimes on like social media, like people will just post some stuff and it's like really crazy. So that is like pure blatant racism, but it's always online. Like I swear to God, it's just internet trolls. Like you can't control it. Of course it's gonna happen, but it's not the majority of like Chinese netizens. It's really not. But yeah, in real life, people you don't really experience, I haven't really experienced much racism, and I'm in like the Shanghai, Suzhou area, and I've also like traveled around different parts of China, and honestly, okay, one time I did get called, like Heigui, which is like the N-word in Chinese, by this one guy. It was like this drunk guy, and he like said it, and that's like really it, but awkward.
When it comes to the US, you don't even have to come here and take your products back to the US. You have companies in China, Chinese companies, large enterprises that will help you advertise in other markets. Listen, y'all, I live in China, been here for almost 7 years. I have my family here. We are within this community. And if you are owning any type of brand and you are doing business in China, this is the time to get here and to connect with manufacturers. They are literally helping. I can't even speak about all of the stuff that is going on. And it's kind of hard because you have to be here to even understand the gravity of what I am saying.
POV, you went sightseeing and ended up being the site.
Yo, as a black person that lived in China, they were so racist. Like, they were treating me crazy. When I got there for work, the first 2 weeks, my boss invited me over to his house to eat dinner every night. When I was in public, since I'm 6'8" and I play basketball, kids would just run up to me asking for autographs, asking nicely for pictures. And then after I gave it to them, they said thank you with a smile on their face and, walked off. It was mad annoying. Every time I got lost on the subway, like, they would take their time out to help me to make sure I was going to where I needed to get to. Like, it was crazy. I'm telling you, if you're a black or you're a foreigner, don't go there. Like, you might not like that type of experience.
So I live in China, and moving to China was one of the worst things I have ever done in my life. Like, look at this. Huge living room, view of the highway, view of beautiful nature, mountains back there. Look at this, and just look at the kitchen. Look how big the kitchen is. The kitchen is huge. Like, what? And we just bought this refrigerator for only like $240. Somewhere around there. Amazingly beautiful refrigerator with a freezer at the bottom. And this place is like 4-bedroom, 3-bath. It's one of the worst decisions that we could have ever made. Horrible decision, don't do it. By the way, if you can't tell, I'm totally kidding. You should definitely consider moving abroad.